the fuck you wanna be? Like I am what I am, I'm just saying. Homie, this is me. If only you could see, this is who I am, man. Understand? You can choose to be who the fuck you wanna be.
What's up, everybody? How we all doing? A cool little series that I kind of wanted to do, and wanted to break this down into multiple episodes. So for those of you who have seen some of my first few episodes I did on this channel was a thing called Advice for Artists, and I broke down my personal opinion, my tips, my advice for upcoming artists, and broke it down into different sections and steps along the way, which I think is very useful and can help a lot of people. Now I wanted to make a new one similar to that, where I break it down into a few episodes, I guess, but this time directed at managers, and have it as advice for managers and break that down into a few episodes. I feel like there is a lack of support, understanding, knowledge, experience when it comes to the managerial side of things, artist managers. And once again, I'm going to specifically be speaking about the Australian music industry, but everything I'm saying applies to any music manager. But this is focused for music managers in Australia, just because I think there is definitely like a lacking number of music managers, just because of where we're at in the industry right now. And also I'm going to specifically be kind of tackling into the hip-hop industry. I just feel like there's not much attention being given to the business side of things within this industry right now, which I think is definitely a big issue, because there's yin and yang. There's so many sides of an artist's career that need to coincide efficiently for things to elevate to the next level. So I just wanted to make this to give my personal opinion, views, tips, etc. on the manager side of things. Hopefully this can help some current managers out there, or motivate or inspire people who are thinking of becoming an artist manager, and help them with giving them a few foundations, the skeleton foundations behind jumping into the industry and whatnot. This first episode, I just kind of want to keep it very simple, very basic, and just talk about the kind of, I want to call it maybe the introduction to becoming an artist manager, a music manager. So the first thing that I want to get off, that I want to go with, is, what does it take to be a music manager? What are the requirements to be a music manager? I just know this is definitely a question that so many people would be asking themselves. I'm going to say right now, it does not take any fucking bit of formal education. There's no legitimate requirements you need whatsoever. You don't need any experience, any knowledge, or anything like that whatsoever before starting. 100% having some of these things, having experience, having knowledge, having networks, having connections, is a huge bonus, and is definitely going to help you when you first start to take on your first artist or whatnot. Me, for example, I had no fucking experience whatsoever when I came into this. Not a single bit of experience. I've spoken about it in a lot of my videos. I wasn't even into hip-hop music, alright? I didn't even listen to hip-hop music before I started managing Jaycee and got into all this. I never once saw myself as a music manager. I never even pictured that. I literally never pictured that until the moment arose for it. Not a single bit of knowledge in that regard. No previous manager roles or whatnot. No previous roles that involved anything that a music manager role does involve. Pretty much just started this from the bottom and from scratch with no experience, and just dive straight into the deep end. Now obviously there are many steps, hard work, passion, motivation, failures, etc., that have led for me to get from that to where I am now. Obviously, that's just the journey of life in general. Never compare in that situation, but when I first started this, when me and Jaycee first started, had no fucking clue how to do anything, had no idea how to send out emails, had no idea where to look for shows, had no idea who was even in this industry, had no idea who any other managers were, literally nothing. So I just wanted to clarify that. The only two things that I would say that you need as a music manager is A, confidence in yourself, just confidence, and B, just communication skills. Those are literally the only two things I'd say that you would need. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like if you're not a confident person and you're not really a good communicator, you're not good at communication skills, probably not the right role for you. Probably not the right job for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'd be looking at those two things and just look within yourself. And then that I reckon that's all you need to kickstart it off. Alrighty, second thing I wanted to talk about is the relationship between an artist manager, music manager, and the artist themselves. I think this is a really important one because I feel like people's perception or people's view on this is, I don't know, very, very different to how I see it. I believe the music manager's relationship between the artist should be of pure bonding and pure friendship and pure love. And I mean that in the sense that I don't believe the healthiest relationship between a music manager and an artist is when it is purely based on business. I'm not saying that means it can't work and that can't be a successful partnership right there. I'm just saying on my personal view that I do not believe that is the healthiest way, and I don't think that's how music managers should be looking at artists when trying to find an artist to work with. I 100% believe it should come down to the organic relationship between an artist manager and an artist. That comes down to just the organic connections that one another have, whether it's meeting each other at shows, getting in contact, having coffee, just building relationships in general. I think becoming a music manager for an artist needs to be built on a relationship. Really think it does. I think that's what makes an incredible team. That's what puts takes certain individuals to the next level. When that relationship, that bond is truly there and it's not based on just business and money. It's not a business transaction. I feel like a lot of music managers right now are looking at artists as business transactions and just business deals, and I totally disagree with that concept. When you're looking for an artist to work with or whatnot, just really focus on the organic energy behind it. I've spoken about it before in the advice for artists is what managers are looking for in artists is do they actually like the individual? Can can you be friends with one another? Just general friends, not business partners, but friends. I think that has to come into consideration when a music manager decides to work with an artist. And that really comes down to that can kind of tie into this next thing, which is what I'm talking about, which I want to talk about is the self-belief. There's two sections in this. I totally think that a manager has to have utter self-belief within themselves first and foremost. You as a manager, you have to believe yourself first. Like, how can you expect to manage another individual, a creative, and elevate their career and take them to the best level they can be when you don't even believe in yourself? And this just works with everything in life. But specifically for this, you have to love yourself. You have to believe that you are the best version, that you are a great manager, that you can help other individuals. You truly have to believe that before you can help and support an artist. Secondly, which is just as important, is you have to have pure and utter belief in the artist you're working with. Too many times I see managers working with artists that after, looking back and watching from a standpoint and just watching how communication and business and how they're working with one another, come to the conclusion that I don't think the manager truly believes in that artist. And they're only working with that artist because the manager was too impatient and wanted to work with an artist, or the artists were too impatient and wanted a manager and just quickly, built this relationship or built this partnership. Truly contest that, the manager has to believe in the artist more than they believe in themselves. Obviously, I don't literally mean that. Obviously, the artist should be believing in themselves more than anyone, but I just mean that to exaggerate the belief that the manager should have in their artist. If you don't truly believe that your artist is the next biggest thing, is the most creative individual, that their music isn't the best, then it's not going to work. The belief with the manager and the artist is so important. So just managers, when you're looking for artists, just make sure that you generally believe that they are unbelievable artists. That you generally love their music and believe that the music deserves to be heard on a worldwide scale. If you don't have that feeling, then it's not a right fit. Then you shouldn't be trying to manage an artist like that. That's just pointless. You're wasting your time and you're wasting the artist's time by just jumping into these partnerships. I think it comes down to patience. A lot of mismatches with managers and artists can come under, I think, pure impatience. Whether it's the manager being impatient of not having an artist under their roster and, you know, just wanting to quickly work with someone, or artists themselves being impatient with, you know, not having a manager or whatnot and just quickly kind of rushing into a deal or whatnot. So I think it comes down to patience. Just be very patient. This stuff has to happen organically. It's the only way teams can get built. Now, the last thing I just wanted to cover in this episode was just the role of the manager. You know, whether you want to become a manager and you're curious as to what is the main role of the manager, or whether you just need a bit more of an understanding as a manager already. The way I look at it, the way I see the role of the manager in the business aspect, there's a lot that the manager has to cover. I just want to take it to the real kind of core of it, what I truly believe the core role of a manager is, and that is to, in my opinion, have the best connection and have the best relationship, the closest relationship with the artist. You know, when we're talking, more successful as an artist, your team widens. It opens up to so many branches. Your tree is opened up. There are many team members that come on board, whether it's publicists, lawyers, accountants, booking agents, like marketing directors. There's so many people that can join an artist's team that when that happens, I believe the manager's role is to have that key connection, to be the right hand man, the wingman, the wing woman or whatever of the artist, and to be that person that the artist trusts. I think that is the main role for the manager. A cool analogy, the way I look at it, is like, for those of you that have watched Game of Thrones, it's like the king's hand. Your role as the manager is to be there to listen to the artist, whether it's their business decisions or whether just their personal life. Be there to talk to the artist and to offer your second opinion. Your constructive criticism is just having that bond, that trust, that communication. Communication is everything when it comes to this. As a manager, you have to be the number one communicator, and then that just ties into what I was talking about with the relationship between a manager and their artist. If the relationship between a manager and an artist is based on business and just partnership of a transaction of money, then you're not going to be able to have that connection, are you? The artist isn't going to have that trust. You're not going to be able to communicate on that deeper level and have that personal relationship. Those are just a few little things that I think any aspiring managers should really take into consideration, or any current managers who are open to different perspectives to take into consideration and have a look at their relationship with their artists, and have a look at what I just spoke about, and kind of gauge whether they're focusing on those things. That's pretty much everything for this episode. Like I said though, I want to break down these episodes into a few. There's a lot of things I definitely want to cover when it comes to advice for managers. There's a lot of tips and tricks that I have from my personal experiences. Another episode I want to do is some things that I think managers right now are doing wrong, or that some things that I think could be adjusted for certain managers that I've seen right now. Maybe a few other things, but we'll break it down over some other episodes. I hope this helps or helped someone. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if there's any topics or questions you have on anything I said. We'd love to chat about it. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Cheers.
Monday come around, she on a calm now, but she told me she never popped a pill. I should never trust her.